Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carl, and we're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bound for Glory is tomorrow, the biggest show of the year for Impact Wrestling, taking place in Samstown in Las Vegas. It's going to be a terrific show starting on the East Coast at 10 p.m. so it doesn't conflict with the AEW Dynamite, which you could think is a smart move by Impact Wrestling by starting it at 10 p.m. I know a lot of people are upset saying, oh, why is it starting at 10 p.m.? It's starting a little late, but that's okay. Whether it starts at 7 p.m., whether it starts at 10 p.m., it's still going to be a terrific show. I mean, I'm a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan. I'm sometimes up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch shows, so I really don't have any issue with Bound for Glory starting here on the East Coast at 10 p.m. But it's going to be a great show. So let's preview it and give my predictions. Okay, we'll start with the main event. The main event, Christian Cage, the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. AEW's Christian Cage, Impact Wrestling World Champion. Now, so we know he defeated Kenny Omega to become the Impact Wrestling World Champion. And he is defending the belt against former X Division champion, invoking Option C, Josh Alexander. And this match is going to be fantastic. The reason why it's going to be fantastic is because Josh Alexander is involved in it. Any match that Josh Alexander is involved in, you're going to get a terrific, fantastic match. He delivers every time, and this match is going to be no exception. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great main event, and they had a great pull apart brawl last night to close the show on Impact Wrestling, which was great. So it's good stuff leading up to this match. But when all is said and done, I think it's safe to say that Josh Alexander will be taking the Impact Wrestling World Title back to Impact Wrestling. It's been held by an AEW wrestler for the last couple of months. I could say maybe the last 6 months, about 6-7 months. Kenny Omega, as we know, was former Impact Wrestling World Champion, then loses it, as I said, to Christian Cage, two, again, AEW wrestlers. And I think it's time for an Impact Wrestling superstar to be the Impact Wrestling World Champion, and Josh Alexander, in my opinion, and I think in about 99% of the people that I've spoken to, their opinion as well, Josh Alexander will defeat Christian Cage and become the new Impact Wrestling World Champion. But I'm kind of thinking, what's going to happen after he wins this match? Because Minoru Suzuki, let's talk about Minoru Suzuki for a second. Minoru Suzuki is going to be part of the TV tapings. He's going to be October 24th, October 25th. He's going to be a part of those TV tapings, which means it's more than likely he's going to be in Las Vegas tomorrow, October 23rd as well. So I'm thinking, what if Josh Alexander, after he wins the Impact Wrestling World Championship, he celebrates for a bit, and then Minoru Suzuki's music hits. Minoru Suzuki comes down, looks at Josh Alexander, and then points to the belt. Josh Alexander holds it up, and boom, we get a Josh Alexander versus Minoru Suzuki title match on the next set of tapings of Impact Wrestling. How awesome would that be? I would just love to see that. As a matter of fact, it sounds like fantasy booking, but I'm going to predict that's going to happen. I'm predicting Minoru Suzuki is going to come down and he's going to point at that belt and he's going to want a title shot, and Josh Alexander is going to give him the title shot immediately, agree to a title shot immediately. Well, not during Bound for Glory, but during the TV tapings, and they'll set up a title match between the two, which would be just fantastic. So I'm predicting that's going to happen. You could also say possibly maybe Braun Strowman might come down, but I don't know if I think right now, because Minoru Suzuki is only there for one set of tapings, I think, and I don't even know if Braun Strowman is signed yet. Nothing's been announced. It could be, maybe he's not. There's nothing's been made official yet, but it has been made official that Minoru Suzuki, New Japan Pro Wrestling legend, is going to be part of this next set of tapings. So I could really see Minoru Suzuki come out at the end of this title match and challenge Josh Alexander for the Impact Wrestling World Championship. I think that would be fantastic. Okay, then we have Deonna Purrazzo defending the Impact Knockouts Championship against Mickie James. people call this a dream match. I have to agree. I know Impact Wrestling likes to throw out the word dream match quite a bit, but I don't know if they've called this one a dream match, but I think this is kind of a dream match. Right? Deonna Purrazzo, one of the best wrestlers in the world today, not just female wrestler, but best wrestler overall in the world today. Dominant Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion. And she did lose the belt once to Sue Young, but she gained it back rather quickly. I thought that was a mistake. I thought she should have held on to the belts, but just a little blip in the road there for Deonna Purrazzo. Well, once she got the belt back, she's just been totally dominant, and this is going to be a fantastic match. They had that fantastic brawl at Mickey James Farm, which was just filmed fantastically. It was just a great segment, and it really got people pumped up for this match. Mickey James defeating Savannah Evans last night was the Pick Your Poison match, I believe it was called. Deonna Purrazzo chose Savannah Evans to be Mickey James' opponent for last night, and Mickey James defeated Savannah Evans, but then was attacked by Deonna Purrazzo and Matthew after that match was over to set up this to really build intrigue to this match here. But it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great match between Deonna Purrazzo and Mickey James. Mickey James still has it. I'm sure she's going to bring her A game, as she always does, to this match, as Deonna Purrazzo always does as well. And Deonna Purrazzo, I'm sorry, I think I said Deonna Purrazzo. It's Deonna Purrazzo. I think it's Deonna Purrazzo. I always get the name wrong, but it's okay. Well, it's not okay. I got to get the name right. So I apologize if I got it wrong. But this is going to be fantastic. And it should be a great back and forth match. And Matthew has been, I'm not saying his last name because I think it's Reinhold, I believe. Matthew Reinhold. I've been pronouncing it wrong. So sometimes if I'm afraid I'm going to pronounce something wrong, I'm a little reluctant to say the name. So let's call him Matthew. I think it's Matthew Reinhold. I think I think I got that right. But he's been barred from ringside, and this should be a great one. This should be just a fantastic match. And Deonna Purrazzo she's not gonna lose the belt. She's not losing the belt to Mickey James. She's gonna retain. So I'm picking Deonna Purrazzo to retain against Mickey James and further cement herself as one of the best wrestlers in the world today. Actually, the PWI Top 150 women wrestlers are coming out, and Deonna Purrazzo was number 3. I think that was a mistake. She should have been number 1, in my opinion. Deonna Purrazzo should have been number 1, in my opinion. Bianca Belair was number 1. But I think if anything, they should have flipped that. And Deonna Purrazzo should have been number 1. But in this match, my prediction, Deonna Purrazzo does, in fact, retain against Mickey James. Then we have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. We know that Rich Swann, Brian Myers, Moose, W. Morrissey, and Chris Sabin are all involved in this match. It's going to be 15 other to be announced competitors. We could guess that Matt Cardona will probably be involved in this one. I'm sure. I'm trying to think of some surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if like Buddy Murphy's involved. Maybe a few AEW wrestlers. I know there's going to be a number of surprises here. And you think would Braun Strowman be involved in this match? I don't think Braun Strowman would be involved in this match. I think if anything, Buddy Murphy, I think, is a good bet to be involved in this one. But we know that W. Morrissey is going to be he's coming out number 20, and Chris Sabin coming out number 1. That was from the results of the Battle Royal. Chris Sabin was the last person eliminated, and W. Morrissey won that Battle Royal 2 weeks ago to come out at number 20, and Chris Sabin coming out at number 1. So this is going to be very interesting because W. Morrissey number 20. It's going to be hard as heck to to eliminate this guy. He had a terrific match. If you didn't see the BTI match against Jake something yesterday, you got to watch that match. It was fantastic. Actually, W Morrissey Jake something would have a terrific feud, but I think it was just a one-off match. They gave it away on BTI, but it was a great match. Jake something could be involved in this one as well. We could see possibly Falaba, other Impact talent, but I think, like I said, I think Buddy Murphy is going to be involved. With Buddy Matthews will be introduced in this match. Um, trying to think who else could we what other surprises? I'm trying to think if they could now it can't be. I was thinking maybe Hikuleo because I would love to see Hikuleo face off against W. Morrissey, but Hikuleo is involved in another match I'm going to talk about in a second. But anyway, I'm sure we're going to get some nice surprises. Um, during this Call Your Shot gauntlet match. But when all is said and done, if Buddy Matthews is a surprise in this one, I think Buddy Matthews is going to win this Call Your Shot Battle Royal. But if he's not, if there's no Buddy Matthews, I think W. Morrissey is going to win this one, coming out number 20. And I can see him going after Josh Alexander and the world title, which will be a great feud for the world title. So that's my prediction there. Either Buddy Matthews, if he's involved in this one, or W. Morrissey. Either one winning would be a great opponent for Josh Alexander. So then we go to our next match will be for the vacant Impact Wrestling X Division Championship. We got Trey Miguel versus Steve Macklin versus El Phantasmo, and this match might steal the show. This match has the potential to steal the show. This is going to be just a absolutely tremendous high spot filled match between three fantastic talents. I love Trey Miguel. I love Steve Macklin. I'm a big fan of El Phantasmo, and they're going to deliver. They're going to deliver in this match big time. I'm looking forward to this match so much. I love El Phantasmo. I would love the X Division title to be around the waist of El Phantasmo, but I think it's Trey Miguel's time. I think Trey Miguel is going to win the X Division championship in this one. He had a big win over Alex Zane last night. I would love to see Alex Zane officially sign with Impact Wrestling. I think that would be tremendous. Alex Zane might actually be involved in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Who knows? But I think Trey Miguel is going to win the X Division Championship. I think he's going to win the X Division Championship, and I think he's going to lose it maybe like in a month or two to Steve Macklin. So that's going to be my prediction there. So Trey Miguel wins the X Division Championship in this one, but he drops it to Steve Macklin in about a month or two. So that's going to be my prediction there. But this is going to be a show-stealing match. I really can't wait for that one. Again, Trey Miguel, Steve Macklin, El Phantasmo, three fantastic talents. It's going to be just a tremendous match. Then we have the tag team match for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Decay, Havoc, Jessica Havoc, and Rosemary, the champions, defending against the Inspiration, Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee, both making their debuts for Impact Wrestling. Great signing by Impact Wrestling. Glad to see them coming aboard. But I think it's safe to say that Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee are going to win the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Championship. I think it's very safe to say. I don't think they're coming in their first match to lose. I think they're going to get the tag team titles right away. And then we can see them feuding with the Inspiration. With the Influence. We can see them feuding possibly with Jordan Grace, Rachel Ellering. We can see them feuding possibly with Tasha Steele, Savannah Evans. So there are a lot of tag teams for them to feud with and to defend the title against. But I all said and done, I don't think there's any doubt that Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee are coming away with the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team titles. The only thing that I could think about, I think there's a slight chance of this happening, is Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rayne, the Influence, can come out and they interfere and they get the Inspiration disqualified or something. But I don't think they're going to take a 3 count in the first match. So that's the only thing that that I could see happening where Havoc and Rosemary retain, but I think there's a very, very, very minuscule chance of that happening. But again, I'm predicting Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee walk out as the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Then we have a tag team match. Heath and it says here to be announced. Now he wants Rhino as his partner, And we saw last night he's trying to get Rhino to say yes. Rhino looked like he was going to help him when Violence by Design, Eric Young, Cody Deaner, and Joe Doring were attacking Heath. Rhino pulling Deaner off of Heath, but then he left the ring, and they continued to beat down on Heath. I thought Rhino might come and help him, but Rhino didn't come and help him. So Heath wants Rhino in this match, and it's undecided yet whether or not Rhino is going to be is deciding to either go back to Violent by Design or partnering with Heath. Now, this is the match here. This match I could see Braun Strowman making his debut if they do in fact sign him. I could see Violent by Design either attacking Rhino backstage and taking him out, or Rhino deciding that he's going to team with Violent by Design, or he's going to remain with Violent by Design. He comes into the ring and he spears Heath, and he says, "I'm sticking with Violent by Design." And Heath grabs the microphone and says, "That's okay. I have a backup plan." And then Braun Strowman comes out, and it's Heath and Braun Strowman against Violent by Design. I can see that happening, and of course Heath and Braun Strowman just take out Violent by Design, and with Matt. So I can see something like that happen. I think that would be a great introduction for Braun Strowman, but I think we could possibly see that happening. But I think Rhino's gonna side with Heath, and we're going to see Heath and Rhino against Violent by Design, and Heath and Rhino are going to be victorious. But then again, I want to make a prediction here, so I'm going to. I'll make two predictions. It's either going to be Heath with Rhino, or Rhino is going to either, like I said, get attacked by Violent by Design, somehow taken out of the match, or deciding to side with go back to Violent by Design, and Heath has his backup plan, and the backup plan is Braun Strowman, who will be Adam Scherr. He can't be Braun Strowman. So those are my two predictions for that match. But either way, whatever happens, Heath is going to be on the victorious side of this match. And then we have finally the last match on the main show, and then we have one pre-show match. So it's the Good Brothers, the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions. Of course, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, defending against Finjuice, David Finlay, Juice Robinson, and the Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Hikuleo. They had the number one contenders match last night between Chris Bay, Hikuleo, and Finjuice, Juice Robinson, David Finlay. And you knew right away that somehow it's going to end up a three-way match. As soon as they announced it, I sent a message to my buddy BQ over at the Impact Lounge, and I said, I think it's safe to say that the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championship match is going to be a three-way match, and he's like, yeah, it's absolutely going to be a three-way match, and that's what happened. That's what happened last night. And the match ended in controversy, as I expected, and Scott D'Amore with his headset made a decision to make it a three-way dance. So again, Good Brothers defending against Finjuice and Bullet Club. This should be a great one. And I don't see the Good Brothers dropping the titles just yet. I know Finjuice, former tag team champions. There's a slight chance that Bullet Club, but they want to elevate the Bullet Club a little bit in Impact Wrestling by putting the tag team titles on them. So there's a slight chance that the Bullet Club walk out as the tag team champions here. But my prediction, the Good Brothers will retain. Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson will retain the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championship in this match. And then finally, we have the pre-show match, which is the tournament final for the Impact Digital Media Championship. It's an intergender match. Either a male talent or female talent can hold the title. So it's going to be John Schuyler versus Crazy Steve versus Falaba versus Jordan Grace versus Chelsea Green versus Daniel Dashwood. So I think I mentioned maybe Falaba will be involved in the gauntlet match. I don't know if he's involved in this one, if he could be involved in the gauntlet as well. But anyway, all said and done, I think Tennille Dashwood's walking out as the Impact Digital Media Champion. Um, Tennille Dashwood going to be there with Caleb with a K. Chelsea Green going to be there with Matt Cardona. Crazy Steve says with Black Tarus. So it should be a great one. This should be a really, really fun-filled match here. But in the end, I'm picking Tennille Dashwood to walk out with the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship. Yeah, so that's it. So that's it. Boy, it's gonna be a tremendous show. I know it's sold out. I think I was reading there's gonna be about I know Sam's Town holds about 1,500 people, and Impact has been sold out. So I would love to see if there's like 13, 14, 1,500 people in the crowd for this one. It's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be on Fight. It's going to be if you're an insider subscriber to the YouTube service. It's going to be on that. You could order that. It's not going to be on it, but you could order through that as well. But it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show. I can't wait for it. Bound for Glory tomorrow. I'm the one thing I'm looking forward to the most is the surprises. Well, that's the second one. The one thing I'm looking forward to the most is seeing the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship around the waist of Josh Alexander because he's 1,000% deserving for being the champion. He'd be a great representative for Impact Wrestling, and I think that title will look great around his waist. And I mean, there's potentially some great opponents for him, and going to give us some great matches. So Josh Alexander, looking forward to that title around your waist tomorrow. Also looking forward to the surprises. As I said, um, I really feel we're going to see Braun Strowman tomorrow. Good chance we're going to see Buddy Murphy tomorrow as well. So I'm looking forward to the debut of the Inspiration. So lots of great stuff, lots of great stuff. Don't miss it. Bound for Glory tomorrow. It starts on the West Coast at 7 p.m. Again on the East Coast at 10 p.m. Can't wait for it tomorrow. Bound for Glory, going to be a fantastic show. Okay, we're going to leave it at that for now. I'll be back later today. It's early morning, getting this done before I go to work. But I'll be back later today with some more stuff. Anything else breaks. And until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.